90s.
Who?
Who was cool in the 90s?
DMX.
Bill Cosby. R. Kelly.
Actually, R. Kelly was still sus in the 90s. And so was Michael Jackson. That nigga had cases too.
Not Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby didn't.
Michael Jackson innocent.
Clean as... I don't care. I will defend that nigga to the day I die. Michael Jackson is innocent. Michael Jackson is innocent. And that leads us right into the Alien episode because he looked like one right when he was about to die. I love I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. I don't even know if I had at least 2-3 of his albums.
I wasn't a big Mike fan growing up, but I still believe the nigga was innocent.
Out of all the random clothes you buy, I'm really shocked that you don't have a Thriller jacket.
Ooh, Halloween coming up.
You talking? No, you know what I really wanted as a kid? That motherfucking Beat It jacket. Whew, the red one? Oh my god! Ooh, I wanted that jacket.
The red jacket, that's Thriller. Beat It, he had a black jacket.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Beat It?
He had a black jacket and Beat It.
Man.
Red jacket's Thriller, bro. That's the Thriller jacket, bro.
Right now. Hold up, son.
Oh, man. You don't even know. You just lost your Michael Jackson big fan card, bro. You ain't a fan, bro.
I'm trying to see what I'm going to be for Halloween.
What, nigga?
That's Thriller.
That is absolutely Beat It.
That's Thriller, nigga.
That's Thriller.
Oh, no. Thriller had the black stripes.
Nigga, I'm trying to fucking
Thriller
tell
had the black
y'all.
stripes,
This
bro.
is Beat It. Because the nigga started off in the bed. He was mad because niggas was bullshitting outside. Put on his red jacket. Danced. Niggas had they tied the thing together on the hands, remember? So nobody could run away like a bitch nigga. And they just stabbed each other. They was going around the circle.
They really make it interchangeable.
Bro,
yeah, you're right.
Thriller had the black
I know
stripes.
I'm fucking right. Y'all gonna sit there and fuck... Like, nigga, I don't think you realize I was a legit Michael Jackson fan. I defended
Look like you didn't get revoked. You just got moved up to premium fan.
The fuck out of here. Hey, nigga, I was fucking with Michael Jackson back in the day. My goofy ass was doing the dances. I was a weird nigga. I was doing the dances at the elementary. I was doing the kick and shit. The kick. And you know, in the 90s, like, people wasn't fucking with that. It was on Usher, so I looked weird.
No, bro, he was so smooth criminal with the white jacket. I thought that was the coolest video ever, bro. Yeah, I thought smooth criminal was the coolest video.
It was.
That just blew as a little kid because it just like that video I was crazy because he was just like,
and that whole part of Michael Jackson's career was blurry as fuck because you had the smooth criminal shit, but then that like also kind of loosely tied into the fucking Moonwalker shit. Mm-hmm. And Moonwalker, once you go back, nigga, that was horrifying. Moonwalker was fucking scary, nigga. So he turned into a silver Megazord and he had weird powers. Like he screamed at shit and it exploded. That was fucking scary. Nigga turned into a Lamborghini. I don't know what the
bro.
fuck. I don't know what the fuck Moonwalker
Remember
was,
the
nigga.
Times was so star-studded, bro.
That was a good video.
Remember the Times was so star-studded.
I miss music videos like that. They just really went hard in the paint with the creativity.
Bro, Magic Johnson was in there for no reason being funny, bro. Debo was there.
He was in that bitch.
And that one model was in there.
Eddie.
Michael Jackson went up there. But then he turned to dust. He was just...
Oh my God. What the fuck? What's the model's name? I fucking forgot
I can't remember her name, bro.
Damn it. Oh my God. That was... The jam was a bop.
That it was like, do you remember the times? And the Pharaoh like, what times?
Like, who is this light skin? I saw memes say, who is this light skinned nigga dancing in my palace talking about some, do you remember the time? And then just had him looking straight at that nigga. Eddie Murphy was just like, who is this nigga? Yeah, Michael Jackson didn't do it. He didn't do it. And the FBI did an entire sweep. Mm-hmm. Looked through his whole place, up, down, top, bottom. Probably checked even the giraffes. Looked in his ass. Are the tapes in his ass? Are the tapes in the giraffe's ass? Bubbles, where are the tapes?
The crazy thing is,
shit.
They even confiscated all his porn collection, played it in front of everybody, and he wasn't into no young girls.
Which is weird.
No, and
fucked up.
He wasn't even into like barely legal things. He wasn't even into nothing crazy like that. Crazy thing is, Michael Jackson had a porn collection.
that weirds you out more because of how kiddyish he was. And he was like, nigga, you.
Michael Jackson was a regular nigga, though.
But it's like,
he had a high pitched voice.
Now, actually, I heard some things.
Every comedian that he hung out with, the real comedian, Eddie Griffin type real comedians, confirmed Michael Jackson was just a real nigga, bro. He was just different. bro, because of how his upbringing. But he was really a real cool dude.
They also, I've heard some things where they said the voice and like all these things that he had,
it wasn't
like,
really
we saw, yeah, that wasn't real.
What?
Yeah,
No,
like,
it was more salty.
really?
It was chill.
Yeah,
He was higher pitched, but he was chill. Like they said, like when he was talking to people, he was like, What are you talking about? Okay, whatever. Let's go. Like he was just real soft. So let's get this, and he just get out there and start dancing. But he was real soft spoken and chill, bro.
Yeah.
But he said he was hella funny. Like every time a comedian made fun of Michael Jackson, apparently like he got in contact with that comedian. Like he was like, if he laughed at the jokes, he was like, oh, that's funny. Like he would like tell them and like the jokes.
Yeah, that's funny as shit.
From what every account I heard, Michael Jackson was a cool ass nigga. Like even there were celebrities that came out and they wanted to talk about the situation, but they didn't really want to get involved in it. I think Lionel Richie was one of them, and they were like, "Lionel, do you think Michael Jackson did it?" And he was like, "Look, Michael ain't touched them motherfucking kids. Like I know Michael, I know that nigga. He didn't do that shit. Trust me." And like a few celebrities, like, they're just like, look, nigga, I put that on my mama. Y'all got the story fucked up. Like they vouched for him.
Eddie Griffin, that comedian Eddie Griffin, was in the limo and went to his court cases with him. A lot of people don't know that. Like, bro, they was that cool and everything. Like, bro, Michael ain't did none of that. And I forgot, he said something happened where they all kind of see that the enemy was against them and that was about to happen. Like, they saw it coming. Cause Michael, like, stood his ground on some stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was more than just buying the Beatles thing. Mm-hmm. But that was really the tipping thing. Like, you really gonna buy their masters and stuff like that.
About that whole shit.
And they were like, and Michael was like, yeah, I got the money. It's mine. There's nothing you can do about it. Bye.
Ain't nothing we can do about it, eh? Well, maybe your doctor isn't as good as you thought he was. Well, maybe he has some errors in his teaching. Oh man, it's very fucked up.
Michael was so next level. That movie, Black and White, actually had like some like next level movie technology when they were morphing faces. Faces was like that. That's technology at the time was like at the top. Like movie people couldn't get that type, bro.
That's crazy.
Like Michael was really like talk about like person made money. He was really like billionaire level money. Like he was just really buying. He can do whatever he want. And like before, right when he died, his whole thing was he was about to do the This Is It movie based off. He was doing a 3D tour. Like, he was about to revolutionize the tour game. Like, Michael was about to release something hard, bro. Like, people were really, and Michael was like, he was really about to incorporate a lot of rap. Cause he went out to people, like, The Game was one of the rappers he reached out to. Damn. He was reaching out to rappers, and he was like, he really wanted to, like, have rap in his stuff. Like, he was a fan. Like, Michael.
That shit was gonna be fire. He was the opposite of Prince. Prince actually fucking hated rap.
Yeah, Prince was
Prince said like, rap is not legit music. Prince actually said, he was like, I don't fuck with rappers. Like, he was like, if you a rapper, I don't fuck with you.
But he was cool with a spoken word, but he was not about rap.
Yeah. Prince was like, that's not really art. That's not a thing.
Fuck Prince.
Yeah, Prince wasn't about that.
No, I'm playing. Like, Prince is a good ass artist.
Yeah, as far as that ass,
but he
was a good artist.
Prince one of them head ass niggas. He like Squidward, you know what I mean? He's like, I ain't no true art, and that is no art. That's Prince. But like Prince played like 9,000 fucking instruments, so I kind of get it.
Did you see that thing?
Yeah, I can understand his perspective.
Did you see that thing with Michael Jackson where they said he just rose up at the ground and people fainted, and somebody was just like, "This is like when people raise their power level and you can't withstand it." They said Michael just rose up at the ground and someone was like, bro, and it was literally people fainted as soon as they see Michael on the thing, and it was like his power level was that hard, bro.
No, like imagine being so famous, you go to see this nigga.
That's crazy.
You know you're going to see it. It's not like somebody took a blindfold off of you. You paid for the fucking ticket. You know. And this nigga pops out on stage and you just start crying like, Michael, oh my God, it's Michael. And then you just all
the original.
And then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck? It's my own shit. Like, nigga, what kind of power is that to where you faint? Like, you a grown ass motherfucker. You pay bills and you see a nigga on stage and faint? You don't even cry. Like, some niggas cry. Motherfuckers fainted.
That shit wild.
Niggas an alien. That's all I'm saying.
They said and a lot of people sleep on like Michael. Like apparently like Michael really danced because he always toned down his dancing. That's something like nobody talk about. Michael toned down his dancing. They said like all dancers I've ever heard, they said when Michael really was dancing, nobody could touch him. Because he said, like, Michael didn't create moves. And that was the thing. He could just emulate it. Like, the moonwalk, when he did that thing, he didn't create it. Right? Like, he saw it, he was working with somebody, like, in that. And so Michael, like, set up the perfect time to do the moonwalk, and it was, like, legendary when he first did it.
It was. When he was on that stage, and did, like, the spin, did the other spin, and then he was like, okay, all right, and he just started moonwalking, and niggas was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Witchcraft. Hang this nigga.
It's
witchcraft.
crazy. People talked about how Michael was and talking about touching kids, but it was like Michael Jackson, like, he dated Elvis's daughter, bro. A lot of people, nobody want to talk about that. Yeah. They dated, bro. They smashed. Michael, like, loved.
What the fuck was her name? I mean, obviously, some
Michael,
Elvisa.
Michael loved Elvis. So he's like, I'm gonna smash my idols. Nah, bro. And I think she was older than him. I think she may have been older than him or something.
Oh yeah, she was. I mean, she was definitely legal. Elvis is old as shit.
Michael Jackson.
Why not? I just found it disturbing when that random like a random white woman came out of nowhere and was like, I got his kids, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Alien shit. That's some alien ass shit.
Oh, we probably should go back and talk about Alien because we just made this a Michael Jackson episode.
Oh no, I've been segueing into it because, like, if you think about it,
we really just
Michael Jackson was an alien on Black Dynamite. Remember?
Not only was an alien on Black Dynamite, he was in Men in Black.
He
was in Men in Black. Michael Jackson was in Men in Black, bro. He had a cameo. He was like, Agent K, what about making me Agent M? He's like, I'll call you back. Yeah, remember? And dude clicked off on him.
I can be Agent M. And he was like, we'll call you back.
Him and Nick Cannon was in that because
Men in Black?
Yeah, and the spinoff was supposed to be Nick Cannon.
Michael Jackson?
He had a part in it, bro.
Because like
he was like, so what do y'all think about me being the next agent? Like he was like a recruit that wanted to be that agent, and like dude was like he always asking. Yeah. Like they was like, bro, I told you later.
He gave him like a lead or some shit, and like he gave him a lead and was like, okay, thanks, that's very valuable. He said, I could be Agent M, and it was like, okay, all right.
Anyway, hang up. I really don't remember that, bro. That was in Men in Black 2. It was in Men in Black 2 when he did that, bro.
Yeah, he made a cameo. So
it was one of them hard cameos, bro. Because Michael don't ever be himself.
They just shotgun you in the face. He was like, oh shit, is that Michael Jackson? So yes, people, this has been a segue into aliens. And I love Michael Jackson, but the nigga probably was not from this planet. So yeah,
you just ignorant.
He had like other brothers and sisters though.
You just ignorant. I mean shit. So did
are they aliens too then? Is Joe an alien?
Nah. Actually,
said it to Joe's face.
Actually, the way they did, that nigga's dead. But actually, the way they did it in Black Dynamite was like this nigga kept trying to have babies and trying to have a talented one, but all of them was like they wasn't shit. Mm-hmm. And then something happened. I think his wife got pregnant, and I think some aliens came down and they like beamed her pregnant stomach. I think that I can't remember, but something happened, and like all the other kids were regular, and then Michael Jackson had something happen to him, or he was an alien. And he was the alien in the family. So that's how they played it there. But to go into alien subjects a little bit.
He's just a nigga. Niggas is talented. Why can't niggas just be goats? Niggas a nigga, bro.
Listen, niggas are. Nobody call James Brown an alien.
Michael Jackson is just a nigga, bro. Niggas is talented.
Michael Jackson was just, like I said, listen. If we go through the thing, technically Michael Jackson is a son of James Brown.
Yeah.
But it's something about Michael Jackson, bro. That nigga just, I don't know, one bitch, Michael Jackson that has ever cried or fainted when they saw James Brown.
That don't make no, bro. We don't know because James Brown's from a different era. He's a little bit older than us.
Man,
you feel me?
We
don't got video footage like we got of Michael Jackson. Not to the same extent.
Yes, we do.
That's because.
But look, and Michael Jackson's bigger than James Brown. He was
absolutely.
But that don't mean he was no alien, my nigga. He was just a talented nigga, and he had the star power behind him. Think about it. You had Joe Jackson. You had the Jackson 5. You was already the icon. He was an icon his whole life. Even in the Jackson 5, he was the icon of the Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? It was just groomed for him. That's like, you might as well say Beyonce's an alien. She was just groomed for the shit. They were just groomed for the shit since birth. It is what it is. And you might as well say Serena's an icon. They were just groomed for the shit since birth. They had parents who knew what their child was going to do and groomed them for that shit from the jump. Yeah. All it is, it's just great parenting, my nigga.
But I'm going to be honest with you.
Actually, it's strong father figures, nigga.
Joe Jackson.
They're strong father figures. That's what it is, nigga.
Oh, be in your kids' lives. Be in your kids' lives. If you are a father, actually, this is a fun statistic. Listen.
I'm just gonna get another beer.
My rule, my motto for 2020 is I don't make the rules. I didn't come up with this shit. I'm just telling you what I heard. Are there any more Michelob's in there?
This is the last one.
Oh,
Have it.
you can have. No, you can go ahead.
Real nigga.
Statistically speaking, and after this, I swear to God, I'm gonna slide back into aliens. Statistically speaking, they say that out of all different races of fathers, black fathers actually have the best success rate at raising kids. I said I don't make the rules, people. I didn't come up with this shit. This didn't come out of my brain. Look it up yourself. Now,
Joe, black fathers aren't in black kids' lives.
Correct, sometimes. But when they
white people be doing that way harder. I don't know. I nobody ever talk about that.
When they are,
it is home run. Home fucking run. The success rate. But here's also another. Damn it! I'm supposed to jump into aliens. Here's also another statistic. Something somewhere happened, and you can probably go back and look it up. But if you go back probably anywhere between 80 to 100 years ago, the narrative of the deadbeat father, the father that ain't shit, that is never in his kids' lives and leaves, was actually the white man. Black men were known to be the father figure, and they were known to actually have a sturdier household and a sturdier marriage. It wasn't until the past, I'm going to say somewhere between the 80 to 20. Actually, no, it may not have been that far back. It may have been somewhere, I think, between the 40s and 60s. I don't remember off the top of my head, is when that dynamic shifted. So something in that generation, something fucking happened to black men and made it to where that wasn't the image or that wasn't the case anymore. But before that, it was a lot more known.
They forced a lot of black men out of homes.
It was a lot more known before that a lot more deadbeat fathers that ran away from their families and abandoned their families, it was actually white men.
That's true. And you got to think about, at the time, black men didn't have them type of opportunities. Niggas couldn't just up and hop on the train and go to another city and just know they was going to get a job in some other city, my nigga.
And there was only a few things you had in mind at that point, which was, one, you didn't have, like you said, you didn't have the obligation to think I can just start over.
Right.
Fuck these niggas.
Right. Yeah.
But secondly, it was, we have an obligation to find stability out of all of the oppression that we've been through. I got to raise these fucking kids. Mm-hmm. I got to make sure the wife is good. Mm-hmm. That was the obligations. And how am I going to do that? By busting my ass and making sure I can provide for them the best I could. And I think we talked about this all together. Divorce is a luxury.
Yes.
Like, before motherfuckers wasn't getting divorced, it's because, they had to stick together. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but I'm saying it is a luxury to divorce someone. To say that I can start over, I can redefine love. Love was a different thing back then, you know what I mean? And it just went off different principles of, survival and staying together. And
Michael Jackson was heavily in his kids' lives, and he was a good parent. And they took a black father away from his kids. And his kids are white.
Yes, they are white as snow.
Unsolved mysteries. I want the DNA test.
But he never touched his kids. For a person that touched kids, he never touched his kids. He cared about them. He was all about his kids' lives. But nobody ever talks about how Michael really was there.
Yeah, his kids stick up for him hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And what do they get out of that? Who's paying them off? No one. There's no fucking benefit to that. Especially when everyone's smearing him. Actors in movies for no fucking reason. You see that shit? One of the kids that was in that Leaving Neverland Ranch shit, if you look it up, that nigga has an IMDb profile. He was also in You Got Served.
Oh, wow.
He was the host, actually.
Yeah.
And You Got Served.
Yeah.
Like the announcer or whatever in one of the dance battles. What? So you mean to tell me... Anyways.
Hey, but you also know, if you think about You Got Served, you also know about young black singers that got touched.
Yeah.
You want to talk about
No, Chris, no.
Fuck.
But real quick, I wanted to mention this since we're on the topic of aliens, kind of, sort of. I mentioned it a little bit last time. The Miracle of the Sun. What y'all know?
What you mean? Is that a book or some shit?
A vitamin D.
No.
It's a
Miracle of the Sun was an event that happened.
The solstice.
No. So, this happened in, I believe, was it Fatima? It happened in Portugal, I believe. Mm-hmm. Spain. Get my place right. It happened in Spain, and this is in the early 1900s. This is some freaky shit that I don't know why people don't fucking talk about. This is fucking scary. So, there was these three little kids, and they were going around the town. They were basically saying, we saw something divine. We saw what we believe is the Virgin Mary.
Oh, shit.
She descended from the sky, and she told us if we come back at this day, she will be there again, and miracles will be performed.
Sounds like a demon.
This is not fucking fiction. This is really recorded in real fucking life. Mm-hmm. So, of course, three kids tell you that, you're like, whatever. Get the fuck out of here. But some people were like, you know what? I'll humor you. Whatever. Kids being kids. Y'all want to go there this day? Let's go there. A couple people went, and they stood there, and they're like, all right, nothing's happening. And then they noticed, why is the sun moving like that? And then the sun started doing this weird zigzag thing, and it was going back and forth, and it was going back and forth, and it was just moving around like this, and it was just going around. So they're like, what the fuck? Like, okay, well, this is a little weird. Then it descended, and it came right over them. So people started freaking out. Some of them started running away to grab more people. They're like, oh shit, I think the kids might have been onto something. Before they knew it, a shit ton of people came. Hundreds of people from the city came. They all saw the same fucking thing in the sky. The weird thing is, they all saw something in the sky, but everybody saw something a little bit different. It was their own different version of the Virgin Mary. They all saw a little bit of a different image. And it all told them a few things. It said, I'm going to give you 3 prophecies / miracles. And it gave 2 of them. The third one is apparently locked away in the Catholic Church. They said we're not gonna release it.
The fuck?
The reason why this is very interesting also, not only did this happen to the people of this town, because a lot of people wrote that off as it sounds like mass hysteria. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I've never gotten 100% on board with mass hysteria.
Right.
I can, if you tell me some shit like there was a gas leak, you know, something that fucks with people. It was like, okay, well, I can see mass hysteria. But none of that was present. None of that was present. There was no gas leak. There was nothing that could have caused these people to hallucinate. Some other people think that they stared at the sun too long, and that caused hallucinations, because that can do that. But that couldn't have been the case either, because they said it was hanging lower than the actual sun itself. Yeah. Like it was maybe like a couple 100 feet above them.
Oh fuck!
And this thing was talking to them telepathically. When like it wasn't speaking out loud when it was telling everybody. It was talking to everybody telepathically, telling them, "I'm gonna bring you these visions. I'm gonna bring you these things." I forgot what they said. One of the prophecies, miracles, visions was, but I want to say it had something to do with World War II, I think, and they predicted something about Russia getting involved with something or somebody, and it had something to do with either the back end of World War II or the front end of World War II. Now, where this gets even more fucking interesting is whatever this thing was, the claim that it was giving out miracles and prophecies and predictions of the future, also specifically visited one of the popes.
What?
It specifically came to him outside of that event. And that's how he knew about the third prophecy. Whatever that prophecy was, to this day, nobody fully knows what it is. Because, like I said, the Catholic Church, they figured it out, and they flipped shit whenever they heard that prophecy, and they locked it away to this day.
What the fuck?
No one knows what that third prophecy is supposed to be.
Fuck the Catholic Church.
So, whatever it is something crazy enough. So, actually, I'm going to read this right here. Estimates of the number of people. I was wrong. I was way off. Do you know how many people they said actually saw this? Now, get this. Mass fucking hysteria. What's your threshold on that? What point do you say this is too many people to think that all these people were tripping balls?
Couple hundred, shit.
Couple hundred people? Couple hundred people. Once it's beyond that, it has to be something, right?
800.
800. What do you think?
We're mass hysteria?
What is the threshold to where you say this can't be mass hysteria, this is too many people seeing something?
Not even 800.
Are you talking about back then?
I'm talking about any in general.
No, that just depends on the place.
Yeah, I say depending on when did this take place?
Because
1917.
Because
1917. Okay, I would say motherfucking.
That still depends because like if a city said it, then like it just depends on the size of the city.
Just give me a number. What number is too big to where you say that can't be mass hysteria? What's the number?
I would say 45. I'm some rich.
45 people.
Same shit. Like
45 people see the same thing.
I'm like, look, man. 45 people say the same shit. This shit happen, goddamn.
I don't know because like the whole world see a lot of shit and it still be deemed
at the same time. Y'all are all together at the same time.
Back in the 1900s, the level of deception as far as technology goes, I think was a little lower than it is back, compared to what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Even now, do we have something that could float in the sky and telepathically tell everyone a different message?
We do, but wait.
But now this is 2020. This is almost 100 years ago. This is over 100 years ago.
I don't know. What is it?
The number of people that saw this thing was between 30,000 and 40,000.
Damn.
30,000, 40,000. So that's
what city was this?
It was, where was it? Let's see.
That's a shitload of people, bro.
Fatima, Portugal.
Portugal?
It's called the Miracle of Fatima or the Miracle of the Sun. Either or. It goes by both names. 30 to 40,000 people saw something in the sky together at the same exact time in the same exact location. And they chalked that shit up to mass hysteria.
Nah, they tripping.
It was floating in the sky. They said it zigzagged. Like they said it looked like the sun was dancing. Zigzagging back and forth. And occasionally people could see different images. Some people said they saw the Virgin Mary. Other people said they saw something completely different. But they all saw something a little bit different. But it all told them a very similar message. Telepathically. That sounds like fucking aliens to me. But the reason why is because they say the zigzag thing, like zooming back and forth, that's how they say some of these alien ships move. Like you see the light in the sky and it'll be here and then it'll just zigzag here and then just go here. And
I haven't heard that.
Like that sounds like a fucking alien ship. And to know that this shit tied in with World War II a little bit because it had predictions of that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we've already talked about in the past that the Nazis were into alien occult and other occult shit. They were into trying to find... remember when I was saying about the Vril?
Yeah.
That secret alien race or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this shit is tied together. I mean, we just don't know. Like, it's like pieces to the puzzle, but we don't have the full fucking picture yet of what all these pieces are going to make out at the end. What do y'all think about this? Because there's heavy criticism on this. A lot of people think, they were tripping. They
that many
hallucinating.
People been tripping.
I think mass hysteria is so fucking... It's dismissive. It's like gaslighting, you know what I mean? You want to tell me that 30,000 fucking people all hallucinated at the same time?
It's kind of wild.
Right.
Like I said, if you tell me there was a gas leak, if you tell me evidence shows that something was wrong that caused these people... I believe it. But also the other thing is the fact that it's not like they slipped and stumbled into it. The three kids said they got approached and it said come back a whole other day. Come back this day, specifically at this time, and you will see something. And they did, and they saw something. Something was there. It's not like it just happened and all of it just happened at once. It's too many things that are calculated and constructed in this event. Or I don't know if I can just write it off as just pure bullshit. But I think this is a very interesting alien UFO-ish occurrence. Mm-hmm. But it also scares the shit out of me that if this was some type of alien, they are already privy to knowing that they can control people with religion by masquerading themselves as the Virgin Mary in the sky.
Right, on some real shit.
So it's like, if you're able to manipulate people like that 100 years ago without even, I guess, fully knowing the religion, just by jumping into their head and being like, I can make these motherfuckers do this if I just play on these cards. I appear in the sky, I look like what they worship, and I'll make them do whatever the fuck I feel like. That kind of shit scares the shit out of me. Like, because it goes so deep into your head that you actually believe you're seeing, like, you think you're seeing one thing when it's a whole other thing. You think you see a religious being in the sky. Really, it's a fucking UFO. And there's other UFO accounts like that too. There's at least 2 other UFO accounts. Another very credible one, I think they talked about it a little bit on Netflix. And that was one where it was a huge UFO ship, like the size of a fucking football field, maybe even bigger. And it was going around this small town. And it was abducting people roughly around the same time. And there was these kids that were coming up missing. And one instance is like one kid, he was sitting inside over a friend's house. It was nighttime. He said it may have been like 8-ish, 9 o'clock hour. Like the sun's still out a little bit, but it's going down. And he said out of nowhere, he just got this sudden urge and he couldn't explain it. He was like, I got to go home. And they were like, bro, it's kind of dark. We'll just, put the bike in the back, whatever. And, just take it. Like, no. I got to go. I just got to go. I got to go home. And like he said, he heard a voice telling him outside, you got to go home. You got to leave. You got to go home. So he basically just like got his shit and just busted out the door and just started running to his bicycle so he could get on it. So the other kid in the house, they get up with him so they can go to the door. Like, damn, this nigga left quick. Yeah. They go to the door. They see this nigga outside. He is running, sprinting in place.
What the fuck?
This nigga just he's just right here, just sprinting in place, just running. And they're like, what the fuck is this? Next thing they know, they look up in the sky and they see a UFO coming in from the distance. And it just beamed that nigga up and just took him off.
What?
What makes this story more credible is when this nigga came to, he was in the UFO. And he remembered being in the UFO. And he ran into apparently someone else. He never knew this chick. Mm. They just remember both being scared. They were both little kids. I think she was a little bit older than he was.
Yeah.
And they didn't know each other. But that's how they were able to confirm, like, that both happened. I met you on a UFO.
The fuck?
I didn't meet you anywhere else. We were both together on this fucking ship. And then after, I think they said about 45 minutes, they returned him. But whenever that nigga got returned, he remembered, I think he said he was on the ground. Mm. And he had like a beam of light on him. And for some reason, this beam of light was hitting him and it had him basically nailed to the ground. He couldn't move. Fuck. And as soon as the beam laid off, that nigga could move.
Bro, fuck.
So it's just like, what kind of technology is out there? And this ties a little bit into telepathy as well, also. I think it was Bob Lazar. It may have been Bob Lazar that mentioned it. You know anything about Bob Lazar?
I've heard the name. I think I've watched maybe a video of him speaking.
He's one of the most, I guess, credible sources of UFOs and aliens because he actually worked at S4, which is a site at Area 51, and he specifically worked with UFOs.
For sure, yeah. He was on Joe Rogan shit, I think.
Yeah. He was on there. His job was to try to see if he could reverse engineer the technology. It's so far in advance. This is the way he put it. This technology to us is almost like you taking a fucking car back to the 1600s, like the medieval times. They could see it, but they wouldn't even know what the fuck an ignition was. They wouldn't know what the key. They wouldn't like. It's that far fucking ahead.
He's such a smart dude that he said he couldn't even comprehend how the shit was even made. But now he was like, now that 3D printing's a thing, it had to be 3D printed.
Yeah. So in
the 80s, he couldn't comprehend that concept.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like invented.
That's crazy.
Because he said the whole UFO is just one piece.
One piece.
There's no nails. There's nothing. So it had to be 3D printed. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure you know how 3D printing works. Right. Like it's just prints and it just goes up a thing. Yeah. So it's just one solid piece built all together. That's a whole UFO.
Made one piece. He called what element it was, but the element wasn't. It wasn't even a thing. The element that the ship was made out of wasn't a thing yet in the 80s.
That's the fuel.
And
the fuel is
we have made it, but we can't stabilize it for more than a few seconds. It's that radioactive. But the ship has made it but it's stabilized.
Yeah.
So to tell you how far in advance, like the element was not even thought of. What was it? 113?
115.
115 wasn't a thing in the 80s.
Yeah. It wasn't.
And they were looking at a literal ship made out of it.
Yeah.
He stole a piece, and then they took the tape where it shows that it can bend light.
It's called Element 115 is called Moscovium. It is a synthetic chemical element with the symbol MC and atomic number of 115. It was first, listen to this shit, he was working on this shit in the 80s.
Yeah.
They didn't actually discover it and put it on the table of elements until 2003.
Jesus.
So he was going around sounding crazy because he was like, yo, there's element 115. And they're like, nigga, what are you talking about? It only goes to, at that point, we're like 96 or some shit. They're like, nigga, what are you talking about?
The one thing that you can probably really infer from this is they come from a planet where 115 is natural and it's not synthetic.
So that's actually what I was leading to. I think...
But their natural way isn't...
it's not propulsion.
No. I was going to say it's not radiated. The synthetic way makes radiation.
Yeah, we have the shitty... we have the janky version.
Because we only can synthetically make it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That's wild.
So, and well, that brings me to another point about thinking about the universe and thinking about aliens. It almost sounds like RNG, and it just sounds like we didn't get the top of the batch. It sounds like... And I mean, this makes sense. Think about it. Why would every galaxy have every single element that, it's going to be some different shit out there.
That's true.
And the fact that like we're going off of this linear path of, element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, all the way to 15, they may be thinking in a whole different process because the processes that we work in are just so rhythmic to what we're doing. They could be on some whole other shit. From what I heard, the way that they make this ship work is they take that metal, and that metal or whatever, Moscovian, it has some weird element where if like you shoot it with something else, I forget what they said. You shoot it with like an electron, and it makes it to where it changes the properties of the gravity, and that's why these ships float. So like all of our ships, planes, everything, it uses propulsion. Mm-hmm. You got to push something to make it go forward. This shit changes gravity. So it just changes the gravity around the ship itself. There is no propulsion.
Changes gravity.
Yeah. That's why they say if this thing was to float in the sky, and this will fuck you up. This will make you slightly paranoid. They say if it floats in the sky above you, gravity bends light. Mm-hmm. If it's directly above you, it's bending light, so it's invisible.
Oh, wow.
So you'll never fucking know a UFO is directly above you because it's fucking invisible.
And it's controlled mentally.
That's what I was going to get at too. They said whenever they looked inside of that bitch, there was like a console. Mm. And you could see like 2 small little indentions where you're supposed to put hands at.
The fuck?
And they looked very similar to humans, but they were just really small.
Wow.
Like maybe about this big. And I can't remember. They said they may have had 5 fingers or it may have been 4. Mm-hmm. But it looked very similar to a human hand. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you just put both of your hands in this thing. And all you got to do is think about where you want to go. And the ship will just go.
That's wild.
So you get in the ship, and all you hear is, "Ooh, tell me where you tell me where to go."
Ooh, Master Cromulon. Where you want to
go? Dum.
Where you want to go?
Go ride the whip.
You just got to think about how far in advance technology like that. And I don't even know if it's necessarily far in advance. It's like I said earlier, it's just we're dealing with the elements that we got. And they're dealing with the elements they got.
Yeah.
Lucky them niggas got floating space rocks that can shoot you across the galaxy, and all we got is shitty ass fucking fuel that burns up and fucks with the ozone. So yeah. I got one more story. I'm gonna make it brief.
All right.
I've noticed when it comes to these alien sightings, you can look at this shit. I think this is very interesting. Some of the stories they say is that these aliens, or some of them, they're different races. I don't know. I'm no scientist here. But some of them are very against us having weapons and going to war with each other because they're saying that's not the way. If you ever want to go out into the galaxy, you got to be cool. And y'all niggas ain't cool. Y'all too destructive. That's not what we're about. I mean, it makes sense, right? If they had all this power, all this technology, they could have been fucked us up. So it's like y'all niggas. It sounds like they're like y'all niggas are kind of breaking the code of the universe. So we can't give you this shit. We can't give you this powerful shit because y'all are gonna fuck it up. You're gonna try to colonize everything and be weird. But the reason why I bring that up is they say a lot of the UFO activity is actually around military bases, especially Air Force. They see a lot of activity around military bases. A lot of people report they see UFO activity around wars, and they just observe.
And airline pilots see it all the time.
Airlines see it.
It's very common.
Yeah, they don't talk about it because, I mean, imagine if you was on a plane. This is your captain speaking. Look at your left window. You'll see two flying saucers. You would freak the fuck out. So they don't talk about it a lot. But apparently, pilots, Air Force, military, soldiers at war, they see it quite fucking often. But I bring that up because apparently there was some war, I think in Korea. This is the crazy part. There was two sides fighting, and you can look this shit up. There was two sides fighting in Korea. It was some war years ago. They were fighting each other, and they looked up, and it was fucking UFOs. Everybody on both sides stopped shooting at each other. They were like, what the fuck are those? So they switched and they started shooting at the UFOs. What? The UFOs did some weird shit. And they started seeing these weird color lights flash. And some niggas started getting shot with blue light. And they were just getting hit with these blue beams. And it was picking certain people. Some people were getting hit with red. Some people were getting hit with blue. And this thing just started flashing. And they were like, I think we're getting attacked, but I don't feel anything different. Next couple of days, niggas started getting sick as shit. Niggas like, they don't know what the fuck they got hit with. Some people dramatically lost weight. They were losing like 100 pounds and they couldn't get it back.
It was like, which gun did you grab? I got AIDS. Which one you get? I got cancer.
Niggas
let's lock and load.
Niggas getting these weird things that they couldn't explain, and like some just losing weight. Some was like getting like deathly sick and then they recovered. Like it was just weird shit, but nobody remained the same after that. And it was just a light. It just, imagine a nigga hit you with a blue light and then you're just like, the fuck was that? And like 2 days later, you're just like, nigga, did my dreads fall out? Like, what the fuck is like? You're like, what the fuck is happening? And weird shit was happening to these people. So I say that to say this. Mark my words. In the next decade, there's gonna be some more weird shit.
Psychic war begins in 5 years.
Also, psychics have to do with aliens. They're speaking to people telepathically. They control their ships with thoughts. It's weird shit. Weird shit.
That's right. I'm gonna get a cruise ship and control my ship with thoughts too, bro. The SS Big Booty.
The fuck? I never say I don't cruise control. I control the cruise. That's what I thought you were gonna say. Oh shit. So I mean, y'all got any final thoughts? I was talking a lot, but I want to hear what y'all think about this shit. Like, bro, I said a lot of crazy shit that is Not hearsay, nigga. This shit is documented.
Aliens come to liberate the real black people, real Jews.
We'll see that because if they're the tall whites, nigga.
I mean, I think aliens either gonna be completely on humanity as a whole side, or they're gonna be like, "Fuck all y'all niggas, like y'all got to go." You know what I'm saying?
I've heard some words that aliens are already here, walking among us, and they're in a lot of high up positions in our offices.
Yeah,
and what makes it more disturbing is there's a species called tall whites.
Wow.
And they look like white people. I wish I was making this up. A white man brought this to me, okay? So this isn't on some woke hotep shit. If y'all thinking that out there, I know how you weirdos get in the comments.
Right.
A white person told me this. They're called tall whites, and they're in our U.S. government at least.
For real?
And they're about 6'3" to 6'5".
Was what Hitler was talking about.
Yeah, actually. They say they're
blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, they say a lot of what Hitler was talking about was aliens that he saw.
Yeah.
The blonde hair, blue eyed shit.
I'm just saying nobody can go into toe to toe with Brock Lesnar.
That may be a reason. Ask that nigga where he from.
You ask him where he from.
I will. With a gun.
On God, John Jones. On God, if you go back to UFC, John Jones gonna beat his ass for black people. Anyways.
If I ask that nigga where, if I pull out a gun and that nigga do this, I'm like, oh, that nigga strapped. I'm not fucking with him.
No, you gonna pull out a gun, he already gonna be behind you.
You've already lost. What? I didn't even use 2%. All right. So that's it on that one. Please tell us in the comments how y'all feel about this alien shit.
About aliens?
I mean, look, at this point, the government's already confirmed it. Aliens are here. I mean, it's no surprise. Statistically, it's a numbers game, nigga. If we're 1 in a trillion fucking planets, I mean, I'd rather have aliens than be alone. That's scary.
You get inducted by UFO. Tell them you with the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, send them to them niggas.
All right, on God, nobody gonna step to Bobby Digital. They're like, oh, you with Bobby Digital? You sure? Yeah, I'm with Bobby Digital. And they're gonna leave you alone.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. They're gonna bullshit. Keep that in mind.
Leave us some shit in the comments about what you think, what you heard.
Because guess what? Wu-Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
Join Wu-Tang today. Protect your race from the aliens.